Good morning all. Good morning students. Yeah. So guys, we are going to start fourth module. See, actually, see, college is going for NAC accreditation. So in this regard, so we are very busy in preparing the documents and all. So day and night we are working on that. So that is the reason why I couldn't able to take class yesterday even. So anyway, don't worry guys. Tomorrow is the last date to submit all the documents by from Thursday on in. So definitely all the faculties will get free and we will completely focus on the classes itself. Okay. And actually, I think yesterday, as per the news, I heard that this complete academic year is going to be the online classes from KG to PG. So if it is, so definitely you guys should ready for the online classes and you should be very, you know, practiced and you should be ready in training yourself, okay, in solving the problems, and working out in more focusing on the concepts and all. So because definitely offline and online teachings, definitely it will vary. Okay. So if it is the case, if the online classes only will continue for the next academic year, so you guys you should ready in practicing yourself, and you need to be upgraded with all latest softwares and techniques also. Okay. So any possible, so please try to do internships from work from home. Okay. So and you can learn even software through online. Okay. That by that you can be, you know I mean, upgrades yourself. Okay. So that's what I can tell you. Okay. So so we are going to start the fourth module, so which is columns and structs. So this is one of the easiest unit which I can say. So why? Because it won't have much formulas, so much derivations to solve. Okay. The concepts are very very easy, and you guys can able to understand the concepts very easy. Why? Because uh, in lively you can able to see all these columns and structs in your civil engineering construction activities. Okay. See, till now whatever the structures we have gone through, you might not able to see them in your regular places and all. But coming to columns and struts, in all your civil engineering constructions, columns will be there, and trusses, struts. Okay, struts will be there in trusses. Okay, so like that, this module will be very close to your viewpoint. Okay, so in that way, we are going to start this module. Guys, is my voice audible? Everything clear, right? Because I didn't ask you, no one is responding. Guys, is everything fine? Is my voice audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So let's. I will try to show a small PPT on the columns and threads, and we will discuss everything on board. Okay. So I will show you the diagrams and how the struts and columns will looks like and all. So what are the prerequisites of going? I mean, required to go into this module. See, every student, okay, so should be very good in understanding the sectional properties of engineering materials. Okay. So what do you mean sectional properties? So what knowledge you should have to know this particular unit? Guys, you should be very good in sectional properties like how to calculate areas, how to calculate volumes, how to calculate moment of inertia, how to calculate radius of gyration, okay, slenderness ratio. All these are very 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 important to understand this particular module. See, in the first module we have gone through springs and torsion. So these won't be 100% applicable to civil engineering, isn't it? So it will be mixed with mechanical and civil. So in the same way, second module, okay, direct and bending stresses. Okay. So where else? The chimneys, retaining walls, dams. So obviously they are related to civil engineering alone. And coming to the third module, which is thin cylinders and thick cylinders. almost these structures you see in mechanical industries, isn't it? Industries. So, but coming to the fourth module, it is completely related to civil. So by that, you should be very strong in sectional properties. Okay, guys. So what do you mean the sectional properties? If I give any kind of section, so you must be in a position to calculate what is area, okay, what is moment of inertia, okay, what is center of gravity, so what is radius of gyration, what is section modulus, so what is slenderness ratio. So like this, you must be in a position to calculate all this, isn't it? So these formulas ఒకసారి మీరు రివైజ్ చేసుకోండి. Okay, so then this unit will be very easy to understand. So coming to columns and struts, in the names itself indicates you have two wordings, right? Column undi, strut undi. So why they combined these two names? Enduko columns ni struts ni combine chesi you are studying in this module. See, column is a different structural element. Strut is a different structural element. Column different element, strut another different element. But why we combined here, you know, both are subjected to same kind of force anamata. Okay, columns are subjected to compression, struts are also subjected to compression. So that is the reason why columns and struts are combined in this module, okay, to better understand. Okay, see, in your building you might see different structural elements, right? Starts from top, you can see the slab, you can see the beam. Okay, below the beam you will have a column, below the column again you will have a plinth beams, okay, and again you will have a footings, isn't it? So these are the different elements of your structure. In that, the only element which is subjected to compression is the column, and below that there will be footing is also subjected to compression, but also it will have kind of bending nature also. Okay, so like that, that is called a column. Okay, in any structural element, a vertical member is called as a column. Understand? In any construction building structures, the vertical structure or a vertical element is called as a column. Understand? Then what about strut? Strut ante enti? Where you have seen the strut? Ippudu column ante andaru chusaru. Okay, so you have seen column in all building structural building structures. Then where you have seen the strut? Strut ante enti? See, how many of you seen trusses? King post truss, queen post truss, trusses under. Okay, I will show guys. Today actually I forgot my board, I couldn't able to draw it. Okay, anyway, tomorrow I will do it. Okay, how many of you gone through the truss? Okay, truss indeed, truss is something like a roof structure anamata. Okay, sloped roof. Okay, slope roof manam construct cheyalankondi, so there they're gonna use trusses. Okay, so in trusses there will be two elements, రెండు elements ఉంటాయి అన్నమాట trusses లో. One is compression member, other one is tension member. Okay, let me show you that. So by that you can able to understand it clearly. Okay, so this is called truss, right? So here you can see different structural elements over here. So better I will show you one nice picture, so where you can able to understand it clearly. Okay, it చూడండి. Yeah, in all, so you can see the trusses in bridges, you can see trusses in buildings for the roof. Okay, so this is a common roof truss. ఇప్పుడు ఈ ట్రస్ చూస్తే, in the truss there will be different elements. So the top, this is called, వీటిని ఏమంటారు తెలుసా? We call them as a rafter. Okay, so these are called top rafters under, or top cord under. Cord and rafter and anything is fine. So this is called bottom cord. Okay, this is called bottom cord, this is called top cord. So when it is subjected to load, okay, so when it is subjected to load like this, what happens? This member will undergo compression. This member will undergo compression. This member will undergo tension. Enduko? Why? Because if you see, when the member is subjected to load W, this top chord will bend like this. Okay, so it will have a crushing nature. Okay, so these two members will crush, and this member will try to elongate, right? So that is how the trusses will behave. And you can see the inclined member here. This inclined member may be under tension or may be under compression. Okay, right? So this inclined member, it might be under tension or it might be under compression. So this member, if it is subjected to compression like this, okay, so this member is called strut under. Okay, so దీన్నే strut under. If the same member is subjected to tension అనుకోండి, tension అంటే like this. If the same member is subjected to tension, this member is called tie. Tie member అంటారు. Okay, so అంటే compression member, trusses లో ఉన్న compression members ని strut members అంటారు. Trusses లో ఉన్న tension members ని tie member అంటారు. Okay, so that is the difference between strut and tie in a roof truss. Understand? So you should be very clear on that. Sir, how can I know whether this member is under compression or tension? అని మీకు ఎలా తెలుస్తుంది? See, how many of you remember in your engineering mechanics, have you calculated the forces with respect to method of joints and method of sections? Please tell me yes or no. మీ engineering mechanics లో మీరు method of joints, method of sections చదివారా చదవలేదా? Guys, please respond. In your engineering mechanics, have you gone through the concept called method of joints and method of sections? అంటే ఒక మెంబర్ యొక్క ఇంటర్నల్ ఫోర్స్ ని క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేసే మెథడ్స్ అన్నమాట రెండు. If I want to calculate, let us take this whole truss is subjected to W. What will be this member is subjected to? ఈ మెంబర్ లో ఎంత ఫోర్స్ ఉంటుంది? ఈ మెంబర్ లో ఎంత ఫోర్స్ ఉంటుంది? ఈ మెంబర్ లో ఎంత ఫోర్స్ ఉంటుంది? And this member, how much force will be there in this member, in this vertical member, okay, in this horizontal member? ఎంత ఫోర్సెస్ అప్లై అవుతాయి? Obviously at support, can anyone tell me what will be the reaction at support? W by 2, W by 2, isn't it? When the load is W, obviously your supports will be W by 2, W by 2. But what happens to the internal members? These members will also carry some force. What is that force? So that force is called as an internal force. Okay, internal magnitude. So that internal magnitude, in some members, it will be positive. In some members, it will be negative. Understand? If the internal force is positive, that member is called tie member under. Okay, అదే ఇంటర్నల్ ఫోర్స్ నెగిటివ్ వచ్చింది అనుకోండి, అంటే -50 kN అని నెగిటివ్ వాల్యూ వచ్చింది అనుకోండి, that member is called a strut member. అంటే with respect to its sign, we are going to decide whether that member is a tie member or a strut member. Tie members ఏంటి? Tie members are nothing but tension members అన్నమాట. Okay, strut members are, what are the strut members? Strut members are negative అంటే ఏంటి? Compression members. Understand? So that is how we are going to evaluate, or we are going to decide which member is a strut member and which member is a tie member. Okay, so దాంట్లో మనం నేర్చుకోబోయే టాపిక్ ఏంటంటే strut. Why? Because strut is a compression member, column is a compression member. So that is the reason why columns and struts are combined together. Okay, and we are studying in this module. Understand? Okay, so this is what about strut. Just a brief introduction annamata ante. Okay, so So I think we all know how the load will carry, okay, in your structure. Okay. So as columns are subjected to compression members. Okay. If you see any structure, so let me show you. Yeah. So this is the load path of a building. See. Oh. Yeah. So here you can see it clearly. The load which is acting through the slab, which is something like a gravity load. Why? Because your slab will have a dead weight, right? So, okay. So slab will transfer the loads to the beams. So where beams will transfer the loads to the columns on either end. So the force will transfer from the column to the footing, okay, vertically downwards. Obviously, column will have a resistance, okay, from its footing in an opposite direction. Okay, this resistance is completely from the ground, okay, from the base of the foundation. So definitely the footing and column both are subjected to compression. Beam will be subjected to tension. Slab is also subjected to tension. Why? Because slab is also something like a beam. But the difference between beam and slab is very thin in depth. Beam is having more in depth, and the difference. Okay. So that is how we should able to understand the column as a compression member in your building structure. Okay. So that is what about columns and struts. So this is the reason why we are going to study, okay, this module. Understand? Okay. So let me now share the presentation. So where you can able to understand in more detail. Yeah. Is presentation visible, Amma? Guys? Presentation visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, let's first go through what is column. Right? When strut is vertical, it is known as column. Anta. చూడండి అంటే ఇప్పటి వరకు మనం స్ట్రట్ అంటే ఏమనుకున్నాము? స్ట్రట్ ఈజ్ ఆల్వేస్ అన్ ఇంక్లైన్డ్ మెంబర్. అండర్స్టాండ్? స్ట్రట్ ఈజ్ ఆల్వేస్ అన్ ఇంక్లైన్డ్ మెంబర్. అది మీరు మైండ్ లో పెట్టుకోవాలి. ఇందాక మీరు ట్రస్ చూసారు. ఇన్ ద ట్రస్ ద మెంబర్ విచ్ ఇస్ ఇంక్లైన్డ్ ఈజ్ ఎ స్ట్రట్. అండర్స్టాండ్? అంటే డోంట్ కన్ఫర్మ్ ఇట్ యాజ్ ఎ స్ట్రట్ అలోన్. దాని స్ట్రట్ మాత్రమే అనుకోవద్దండి. Inclined member, it might be a strut or it might be a compression member. Sorry, it might be a tie member. Inclined member, tie member avvachu or strut member avvachu. How I can decide the inclined member as a tie member or a strut member? Based on the sign convention. Okay, based on the internal force acting in the member. Okay, so now ikkada oka clarity mana undali enti any member which is vertical అంటే అదే ఇంక్లైన్డ్ మెంబర్ ని నేను వర్టికల్ గా తీసుకొచ్చాను అనుకోండి, ఆబ్వియస్లీ ఆ మెంబర్ ఏమవుతుంది? కాలమ్ మెంబర్ అవుతుంది. ఓకే, సో బై దట్ వెన్ స్ట్రట్ ఈస్ వర్టికల్ ఇట్ ఈస్ నోన్ యాజ్ ఎ కాలమ్. అలా చెప్పొచ్చు, లేకపోతే ఎనీ వర్టికల్ మెంబర్ ఈస్ నోన్ యాజ్ ఎ కాలమ్. ఓకే, అండ్ నెక్స్ట్ ద క్రాస్ సెక్షనల్ డైమెన్షన్స్ ఆఫ్ కాలమ్ ఆర్ వెరీ లార్జ్. Comparative with the strut, the cross sectional dimensions of column are very large. Okay, and next one, normally columns carry heavy compression loads. Just now you have seen the building structure where the column is a very important structural element which will carry the upward forces to ground. Kada beams lo carry out the forces anni column only the member which will transfer the force to the foundation. So by that, columns are the members which will carry very heavy compression loads. Okay. So next point, columns are used in concrete and steel buildings. So not only in RCC buildings and reinforced concrete structural buildings, even in the steel buildings also columns will be there. Okay. So akkada manam steel columns antam. Okay. So let me show you that. Right? See here. See, let us take one truss. In this, identi complete steel structure. In the steel structure, you can see these vertical members. So these vertical members are columns. Okay. So why? Because they are all made up of steel, right? So మనం ఇందాక చూసిన బిల్డింగ్ ఏంటి, అది ఆర్సిసి స్ట్రక్చర్. ఆర్సిసి స్ట్రక్చర్ లో వర్టికల్ మెంబర్ ని కాలమ్ అంటాం. ఓకే, ఈవెన్ ఇన్ ద స్టీల్ స్ట్రక్చర్ ఆల్సో this vertical post or a vertical member is also a column. But the thing is, there it is RCC, which is made up of concrete and steel. Here it is only a steel anamata. Okay, so the section of the steel will be either square or a rectangle or an I section. Okay, undachu, or a circular section kuda undachu. Okay, so like this, you will find even columns in the steel structures. Okay, so that is the reason why columns are used in concrete and steel buildings also. Next, coming to struts. What do you mean strut? A structural member subjected to axial compression force is called a strut. Chusara, indaka meeru chusaru. See, in the earlier pitch, you have seen a strut in a truss. So it is an inclined member. How can you say that member is subjected to compression? Obviously, when the force is passing through its axis. Okay, axial load ante enti? Any member when it is subjected to axis. Avantana? So towards unte compression antam, away unte tension antam. So here, any member when it is subjected to axial compression force, so that member is called as a strut. So basically, struts may be vertical, హారిజాంటల్ ఆర్ ఇంక్లైన్డ్. ఒక్కోసారి స్ట్రట్స్ అనేవి వర్టికల్ గా ఉండొచ్చు, హారిజాంటల్ గా ఉండొచ్చు, ఆర్ ఇంక్లైన్డ్ మెంబర్స్ కూడా ఉండొచ్చు. బట్ డోంట్ వరీ, మేజర్లీ అదే వర్టికల్ గా ఉందనుకోండి స్ట్రట్, దాన్ని మనం స్ట్రట్ అనకూడదు. వీ షుడ్ కాల్ ఇట్ యాజ్ ఎ కాలమ్. ఓకే, ద థింగ్ ఈస్, సో వై యు ఆర్ కాంట్రాక్టింగ్ హియర్ ద పాయింట్ అంటే, ఇదే స్ట్రట్ అనేది ట్రస్ లో ఉందనుకోండి, వీ హ్యావ్ టు కాల్ ఇట్ యాజ్ ఎ స్ట్రట్ అండి, అంతే. Vertical members in RCC buildings we should call as a column. The same vertical member, even though it is subjected to compression force, in the trusses we should not call it as a column, we should call it as a structure member. Okay, that you have to remember it. Next, the cross sectional dimensions of the strut are very small. Chusara, in the columns lo cheppinappudu em cheppanu, the cross sectional dimensions are very large. Why enduku large? Why? Because there the forces carried by the compression members are very huge. ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు పెద్ద 10-story బిల్డింగ్ తీసుకోండి. సో ద టోటల్ లోడ్ క్యారీడ్ బై ద గ్రౌండ్ కాలమ్ విల్ బి వెరీ హై కదా. 9 stories మీద 9 stories నుంచి యాక్ట్ అవుతున్న లోడ్ అంతా లాస్ట్ గ్రౌండ్ స్టోరీలో ఉన్న కాలమ్ క్యారీ చేయాలి ఆబ్వియస్ గా. సో బై దట్ ఆల్ కాలమ్స్ ఇన్ ద గ్రౌండ్ ఫ్లోర్ విల్ బి మోర్ ఇన్ డైమెన్షన్ కంపేర్డ్ విత్ ద కాలమ్స్ విచ్ ఆర్ దేర్ ఇన్ ద అదర్ స్టోరీస్. మీరు ఎప్పుడైనా కమర్షియల్ కాంప్లెక్స్ చూడండి, షాపింగ్ మాల్స్ చూడండి. సో వెన్ యూ పార్క్ యువర్ వెహికల్స్ ఇన్ అండర్గ్రౌండ్ పార్కింగ్ ఏరియాస్, యూ క్యాన్ సీ ఏ కాలమ్స్ విచ్ ఆర్ వెరీ బిగ్ ఇన్ సైజ్ కదా. అదే కాలమ్స్ మీరు నెక్స్ట్ స్టోరీస్ కి వెళ్ళేసరికి కాలమ్ సైజెస్ తగ్గిపోతూ ఉంటాయి. వై? బికాస్ ఎవ్రీ స్టోరీ ద నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ స్టోరీస్ above the column will be get reduced anamata. So that is the reason why bottom most column dimensions are very large in columns. Ade strut lo anukondi, no need, every strut member will have a same dimension. So by that they are very small compared with the column. Understand? Next, normally struts carry small compression forces. That is the reason why cross sectional dimension of the strut are very small. Enduku ante it will carry very small compression forces anamata. Okay, so and struts are used in roof trusses and bridge trusses. చూడండి, very important point. మిమ్మల్ని ఇంటర్వ్యూలో కూడా అడగచ్చు. ఓకే, వేర్ దే యూజ్ స్ట్రట్ మెంబర్స్. స్ట్రట్ మెంబర్స్ ఆర్ యూజ్డ్ ఇన్ రూఫ్ ట్రస్సెస్ ఆర్ బ్రిడ్జ్ ట్రస్సెస్. మీరు ఎప్పుడన్నా రైల్వే బ్రిడ్జ్ చూడండి, విచ్ ఇస్ కన్స్ట్రక్టెడ్ విత్ ద హెల్ప్ ఆఫ్ ఏ ట్రస్సెస్. ఓకే, సో దేర్ ఆల్సో ట్రస్సెస్ విల్ బి దేర్. లెట్ మీ షో యూ how the bridge trusses will be there. Chonde. So this is a railway bridge. Avuna? So in this railway bridge, this is called as a bridge truss anamata. Dini bridge truss antaru. So basically trusses will be made up of either steel or wood. Okay, so if you go to foreign countries, all residential buildings are made up of wood. Kada? So akkada wood vaadinappudu the roof will be made up of wood anamata. So their roof won't be flat. Roof anedi akkada wooden roof truss member ga untundi. Okay, wooden roof truss antaru akkada. So wooden roof truss untundi kabatti your construction will be like a slope. If you see any buildings in foreign countries, your slab won't be flat. Your slab will be something like a roof. So shape మనకి రావాలి అంటే you have to use the trusses over there. అక్కడ మనం wooden trusses వాడతారు. Okay, సో అదే విధంగా ఇక్కడ స్టీల్ ట్రస్ ఉంటుంది ఫర్ స్పెషల్లీ ఫర్ ద బ్రిడ్జెస్. ఓకే, సో హియర్ ఆల్సో యూ క్యాన్ సీ దెర్ ఆర్ ఇంక్లైన్డ్ మెంబర్స్ కదా, చూసారా ఇలా ఇంక్లైన్డ్ మెంబర్స్ కనిపిస్తున్నాయి. దీస్ ఇంక్లైన్డ్ మెంబర్స్ ఆర్ ద స్ట్రట్ మెంబర్స్ ఆర్ టై మెంబర్స్, ఏదైనా అవ్వచ్చు. ఓకే, ఇట్ ఆల్ డిపెండ్స్ ఆన్ ఇట్స్ sign convention, depends on its magnitude. Okay, so like this you can see the bridge trusses under with me. Okay, ade meeku roof trusses anukondi. So these are all roof trusses, right? See here you can see very clearly the truss which is made up of wood, right? So this is called as a roof truss. Understand? So there are different types of roof trusses available. See here you can see very clearly the house which are constructed with the help of a roof truss. Understand guys? Okay, so this is wooden roof truss, right? So this is what about roof truss. Okay, so basically struts are used in roof trusses and bridge trusses. So there is a major difference between columns and struts. So now you can see it clearly. Strut. It is strut. Ikkada 3 members మీరు అబ్జర్వ్ చేయండి. This member is an inclined member which is subjected to compression. This member is also an inclined member which is subjected to compression. This member is also horizontal member which is subjected to compression. ఇదే inclined member ని నేను 45 degrees vertical గా తిప్పాను అనుకోండి ఇలా. If I rotate this like this, okay, with an angle of 45 degrees straight. Okay, so then ila tippen anukondi, it will become straight kada. So obviously when it becomes straight, the vertical members are called as a column. Okay, so the vertical members are called as a column and inclined members are called as a strut. Okay, so even you can say in any interview basically struts will be available either in inclined position or it might be horizontal, but the same strut when it becomes vertical we should call it as a column instead of a strut anamata. Understand guys? Understood? Ikkada meeru you can see 2 different columns. Enti deeniki difference enti? So this is called as a long column. Okay, chudandi column kodiga length ekku undi, and this is called as a short column. Okay, here the column height is less. So like this you will have 2 different types of columns. One is long column, other one is the short column. Okay, entavi what are they anedi we will see in the next continuing classes. Okay, so next, so very important sectional property here is radius of gyration. Okay, radius of gyration. Why we are studying this here? What do you mean radius of gyration? Very simple, మీ అందరికి radius of gyration formula తెలుసు. Radius of gyration is equal to root of I by A అంటారు. Okay, what is I? I is nothing but moment of inertia. And what is A? A is nothing but cross-sectional area of the member. If the column is rectangular member, the cross-sectional area is rectangle. If the column is a circular member, cross-sectional area is circle. If the column is a square member, the cross-sectional area is square. So like that, the radius of gyration is going to be calculated, okay, with respect to moment of inertia to the cross-sectional area. Okay, so danne manam k is equal to root of I by A అని రాయొచ్చు. K is nothing but the sign of radius of gyration. Radius of gyration is indicated with symbol K, or sometimes in section in some textbooks or some tables radius of gyration is indicated with symbol Can anyone tell me what is the other mode of description రిప్రజెంటింగ్ రేడియస్ ఆఫ్ gyration k అన్ని డిసైడ్ చేస్తే లేకపోతే r అని కూడా అంటారు. ఓకే, స్మాల్ r, నాట్ క్యాపిటల్ R. ఓకే, సో రేడియస్ ఆఫ్ gyration కెన్ ఆల్సో బి ఇండికేటెడ్ విత్ ద సింబల్ స్మాల్ r. అండర్స్టాండ్? స్మాల్ r. సో హియర్ k is equal to root of I by a కదా. సో I ని మనం ఎలా రాయొచ్చు? I is equal to a into k square అని కూడా రాయొచ్చు. ఓకే, సో వేర్ k is the radius of gyration, I is the moment of inertia which is mm power 4 and a is the area of section. సో ఇక్కడ మీన్ ఒకసారి డెఫినేషన్ చూడండి. The distance from the given axis at which if all small elements of lamina placed, the moment of inertia of the lamina about the axis does not change. This distance is called radius of gyration. Ante, so radius of gyration is always depends on the sectional property of the member, which depends on its డైమెన్షన్, లాటరల్ డైమెన్షన్ మీద డిపెండ్ అవుతుంది అనమాట. అంటే రేడియస్ ఆఫ్ gyration ఏం ఇండికేట్ చేస్తుంది అంటే ఆ మెంబర్ యొక్క స్ట్రెంగ్త్ ని ఇండికేట్ చేస్తుంది. అంటే కాలమ్ మెంబర్ యొక్క స్ట్రెంగ్త్ ని ఇండికేట్ చేస్తుంది. ఇన్ వాట్ టర్మ్ ద స్ట్రెంగ్త్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు బి డిఫైన్డ్ అంటే ఆ కాలమ్ అనేది బక్కుల్ అవుతుందా, బక్కుల్ అవ్వదా, ఆ కాలమ్ అనేది బెండ్ అవుతుందా, బెండ్ అవ్వదా. ఓకే, సో దాట్ ఈస్ ఆల్వేస్ డిపెండ్స్ ఆన్ ద రేడియస్ ఆఫ్ gyration ఆఫ్ ద మెంబర్. అండర్స్టాండ్? సో దట్స్ హౌ వెరీ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ సెక్షనల్ ప్రాపర్టీ అనమాట R అనేది. ఓకే, ఏ కాలం కి అయితే R అనేది ఎక్కువగా ఉంటుందో, R అర్థమవుతుందా, రేడియస్ ఆఫ్ gyration ఎక్కువగా ఉంటుందో ఆ మెంబర్ కి స్లెండర్, ఆ మెంబర్ బక్కుల్ అవ్వడానికి చాలా తక్కువ స్కోప్ ఉంటుంది. అదే ఏ కాలం కి అయితే రేడియస్ ఆఫ్ gyration చాలా తక్కువగా ఉంటుందో ఆ మెంబర్ బక్కుల్ అవ్వడానికి స్కోప్ ఎక్కువ ఉంటుంది అనమాట. అర్థమవుతుందా? అంటే ద బక్లింగ్ నేచర్ ఆఫ్ ద కాలమ్ విల్ బి డిసైడెడ్ based on the radius of gyration of the member. Okay, how you calculate radius of gyration? With respect to moment of inertia, with respect to the cross sectional area. Okay, understand? So this is how we are going to calculate the things. Okay, so that is what importance of radius of gyration. What we do by calculating the radius of gyration? By calculating the radius of gyration, we can able to calculate the slenderness ratio. Okay, మీరు అందరు ఈ ప్రాపర్టీస్ చదివారమ్మా, మీ ఫిజిక్స్ లో మీరు చదువుండొచ్చు. Okay, even in your engineering mechanics you have gone through all these sectional properties. The slenderness ratio is defined as effective length to the column by minimum radius of gyration. ఇప్పుడే చెప్పాను కదా. Okay, so minimum radius of, when the radius of gyration is minimum, your lambda will be maximum. When the lambda is maximum, that column will be subjected to buckling. Okay, ఎందుకు slenderness ratio? Slenderness ratio is very important to calculate the, చూడండి, when the lambda is more, its load carrying capacity will be less. అంటే ఏంటి? ఆ కాలమ్ యొక్క లోడ్ క్యారింగ్ కెపాసిటీ తగ్గిపోతుంది. when the column is having less load carrying capacity, that column tends to buckle, isn't it? అంతేనా? సో అంటే మీనింగ్ ఏంటి? your slenderness ratio is always depends on radius of gyration. ఇవన్నీ నేను రేపు బోర్డు మీద చేసి చూపిస్తున్నాను. ఓకే, డోంట్ వరీ. ఓకే, సో slenderness ratio is defined as the ratio of effective length to the least radius of gyration. When the radius of gyration is low, the slenderness ratio will be more. When the slenderness ratio is more, that column carrying capacity will be less. When the column carrying capacity is less, that column tends to fail. Guys, please mute yourself. Okay, that column will fail. అంటే ఇక్కడ మీకు ఏం అర్థం అవ్వాలి? ఎనీ కాలమ్ should have more slenderness ratio or less slenderness ratio? Slenderness ratio ఎక్కువ ఉంటే మంచిదా, తక్కువ ఉంటే మంచిదా కాలమ్ కి? చెప్పండి. ఒక కాలమ్ కి విత్ ఎనీ క్రాస్ సెక్షన్ స్లెండర్నెస్ రేషియో ఎక్కువ ఉండాలా, తక్కువ ఉండాలా? గైస్ ప్లీజ్ టెల్ మీ. స్టేట్మెంట్ ఇక్కడ చాలా క్లియర్ గా ఉంది. when lambda is more, load carrying capacity will be less. మరి అప్పుడు స్లెండర్నెస్ రేషియో ఎక్కువ ఉండాలా, తక్కువ ఉండాలా కాలమ్ కి? ఎక్కువ ఉంటే మంచిదా, తక్కువ ఉంటే మంచిదా? గైస్ ఆర్ యు అండర్స్టాండింగ్? కాలమ్ యొక్క స్లెండర్నెస్ రేషియో ఎక్కువ ఉంటే మంచిదా, తక్కువ ఉంటే మంచిదా?
లెస్ సార్.
లెస్ ఉంటే మంచిది. how can you achieve less slenderness ratio? How can you achieve less slenderness ratio? ఎప్పుడు వస్తుంది less slenderness ratio?
More radius of gyration.
Very good. More radius of gyration ఉంటే వస్తుంది. ఓకే, నేను అలాగే రివర్స్ లో అడుగుతాను, చెప్పండి. రేడియస్ ఆఫ్ గైరేషన్ ఎప్పుడు ఎక్కువ వస్తుంది? when your radius of gyration will be more?
When slenderness ratio is less.
స్లెండర్నెస్ రేషియో అయిపోయిందమ్మా. స్లెండర్నెస్ రేషియో ఎక్కువ ఉండాలి అంటే, సరే స్లెండర్నెస్ రేషియో తక్కువ ఉండాలంటే రేడియస్ ఆఫ్ గైరేషన్ ఎక్కువ ఉండాలి, అంతేనా? నేను అడుగుతున్న క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటంటే రేడియస్ ఆఫ్ గైరేషన్ ఎప్పుడు ఎక్కువ అవుతుంది? when your radius of gyration will be more?
When area.
చూడండి, అందుకే నేను ఈ రిలేషన్ పెట్టాను. when your slenderness ratio, sorry, radius of gyration will be more. మీ radius of gyration ఫార్ములా ఏంటి? I/A, అవునా? your radius of gyration is directly proportional to what?
Moment of inertia.
Very good. Moment of inertia అంటే radius of gyration ఎప్పుడు ఎక్కువ అవుతుంది?
Moment of inertia.
Moment of inertia ఎక్కువ ఉంటే అవుతుంది. మరి moment of inertia ఎప్పుడు ఎక్కువ ఉంటుంది? when moment of inertia will become more? when moment of inertia depends on what?
Breadth and depth, sir.
ఏంటమ్మా, ఎవరు చెప్పారు?
Breadth and depth, sir.
బ్రెడ్త్ అండ్ డెప్త్ అంటే ఏంటి? బ్రెడ్త్ ఇంటూ డెప్త్ ఏమొస్తుంది?
Area, sir.
ఏరియా. అంటే ఇక్కడ చూడండి, 1 by 1 మనం బ్యాక్ క్యాలిక్యులేషన్ వద్దాం. when cross section area is more, moment of inertia is more. when moment of inertia is more, radius of gyration is more. when radius of gyration is more, slenderness ratio is less. when slenderness ratio is less, column is safe under buckling. column will carry more compression forces. column can able to carry more load anamata. Understand? So this is what about the concept of radius of gyration. Okay guys, so I have a meeting right now, don't worry. So tomorrow I gonna teach all these on board. Okay, so by that it will be very clear on. So ippudi varaku emana doubts unnayamma? Guys, I think you all understood about columns and struts, isn't it? మీ అందరికి ఒక ఐడియా వచ్చిందా కాలమ్ అంటే ఏంటి, స్ట్రట్ అంటే ఏంటి? సో వాట్ సెక్షనల్ ప్రాపర్టీస్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు గో త్రూ టు అండర్స్టాండ్ దిస్ మాడ్యూల్ అని? ఎస్
Yes, sir.
వెరీ గుడ్, వెరీ గుడ్. సో ప్లీజ్ గో త్రూ ఆల్ ద సెక్షనల్ ప్రాపర్టీస్ అమ్మా. ఓకే, అసలు ఏరియా ఎలా క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేస్తారు, మూమెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఇనర్షియా ఎలా క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేస్తారు, section modulus, radius of gyration, slenderness ratio, all these please go through once. Okay, so tomorrow I will continue the class. Okay, so by that we can solve a number of problems on by deriving some derivations also. Okay, okay guys, right? So then see you tomorrow. Any doubts unnaya evarkanna?
No, sir.
Okay, then fine. Okay, so see you tomorrow guys. Right.